And this particular Penn Point is brought to you by a new sponsor, GoDaddy. The iPad is here turned to Sativa Clinton. Sativa Clinton is George Clinton, you know, Funkadelics, Parliament Funkadelics, P-Funk, Dr. Funkenstein. George Clinton was playing at Red Rock Casino here in Vegas, which 2 nights later they had OK Go. But I couldn't go to OK Go, although we did go and hang out with the guys a little bit afterwards, Teller and I did, because we are hopeful of monkeying with them on a video thing, trying to do a video thing with them. But I was there to see George Clinton, and let me tell you, he brought the funk, and it took 25 people on stage to bring the funk, but they brought the funk. It was an outdoor concert, it was windy, and there was a lot of an awful lot, it seemed to be, I don't even want to say that, but a lot of people having a lot of fun, doing all sorts of stuff, and it was really sexy. Like I said, like 25 people on stage, tall woman in roller skates, this guy in a big hat, a big fur hat, doing all this like belly dancing stuff, which I'd never seen in a guy. It was really sexy. And this woman in lingerie, kind of dressed like a baked potato with a big heart on her ass. Heart on her ass, not hard on her ass. Heart on her ass. Just doing fucking, you know, things. And, you know, One Nation under a groove. One Nation under a motherfucking groove. And they brought the funk, and it was fabulous. And George Clinton's granddaughter, who is Sativa Clinton, who is wonderful. His granddaughter, I mean, the granddaughter of George Clinton is on stage being very sexy, singing stuff like, there's some stink and I want some, which I believe is about marijuana, but could be about so many things that I also approve of. And also saying harder than steel and steel getting harder, harder than steel and steel getting harder. And this long alliterative section that ended in pussy, and she was a fabulous rapper, and she was wonderful. And I thought about Granddad bringing his granddaughter on stage to rap about drugs and fucking, and thinking, you know, when you bring the funk, you got to bring all the funk, and you got to get everybody you can to bring the funk. And it was a great show. But that's not the part of the story I'm telling you. The part of the story I'm telling you is, as I'm walking out, some of the people, they were very, very kind and complimentary about Penn and Teller. And I'm there with my wife, Emily Zoltan Jillette, there with my wife. And I'm also there with Mike Jones, who's called Jonesy, who is one of the greatest bebop jazz pianists ever. And he plays in the pre-show with me. I play upright bass, he plays piano, and it's as though you were listening to Oscar Peterson and Ray Brown, if Ray Brown weren't that good. That's what we play like. But Jonesy by himself is fabulous. But Jonesy looks very much like Jonesy. Jonesy has a shaved head. He has goat horns tattooed on his head. His arms are full sleeves, including a bass clef on his left hand and a treble clef on his right hand. And his hands are tattooed, up to his neck is tattooed. He has huge gauges in his ears. They're all stretched out like 1-inch gauges, and he looks very much like Jonesy. Okay, so Emily, Jonesy, and I are walking out of the show. People are being very, very sweet and pleasant to me, and everybody has had the funk brought to them, so we're all in good moods, all of us, the whole crowd. So we're walking out of there after having the funk brought to us on a platter, and this woman comes up, really sexy, cool woman, and she wants her picture taken with me. And she is very hands-on, which I used to hate. I used to hate being touched by strangers, but when it's an attractive woman, then bring on the sexy touching by strangers. So she's kind of grabbing me around the waist and posing for a picture. And she's going, no, I love you, I love you, I love you. And she's saying very complimentary stuff. And I really liked her, it's great. And then of course she hands like my wife a camera to take the picture. It says, get a picture of me, I love Penn and Teller. I love Penn and Teller. And then she points to Jonesy, shaved head, goat ears, you know, ram's horns, not goat ears, ram's horns tattooed on his bald head, big like 1-inch gauges hanging out here, tongue pierced, you know, tattoos everywhere. And she says, you two Teller, get over here. And she motions to Jonesy to come over because she thinks he's Teller. And I say, not Jonesy, not someone in the audience, but I say to her very nicely, because she has her hands on me and I'm digging her, I say, that's not Teller. That's not Teller. I don't say it correcting her. I say it, pleasantly. Like, oh, I have some information maybe you don't have. I'll just lay it on you. That's not Teller. And she rears up to full and does like this head wag and goes, oh, yes, it is. Boy, that was the worst impersonation of that woman standing next to me you could ever hear. Oh, yes, it is. But if you know how to wag your finger and go, oh, yes, it is, do it yourself because it'll sound better in your head and hysterically funny. Oh, yes, it is, to Jonesy. So my wife is there, I'm there, Jonesy's there, and a lot of other people are around. And a lot of us know Teller personally. A lot of us know Jonesy personally. And a lot of us know that that's not Teller. Oh, yes, it is. And then she adds why she knows it is by saying, I used to be a waitress. Teller came into the restaurant all the time, and I waited on him. That is Teller. Get over here. And what does Jonesy do? What does my wife do? What do I do? Jonesy and I pose for a picture at either side of her. Penn and Teller, and this woman in the middle. My wife snaps the picture. Oh, yes, that is. So George Clinton brought the funk, and a woman in the audience turned Jonesy, the big bump, into Teller. It was, it was a great moment. I loved her, and I wish she'd touched me more and other places. GoDaddy, our new sponsor, and I have it right here. Get reliable, secure web hosting without the long-term contract. GoDaddy's hosting plans are bigger and better than ever with 99% uptime, free 24/7 supports, and no annual commitment. I assume that's 24/7, 30, 31, 28, or 29, and 365. And then 10 in a decade. Let's cover everything. Support and no annual commitment. Check out revision3.com GoDaddy for a list of all the amazing GoDaddy deals from Revision 3. The code is PEN8. The code PEN8 gets you 10% off any order. That's PEN8. So check out GoDaddy. And one of them said, the most beautiful thing, he said he was arguing with his father. His father said, are you going to be happier as an atheist? And he said, Dad, happy doesn't matter. It's the truth.